Hey peeps. Hello, hello, hello. I am just jumping on live and I'll tell you why. Hopefully, some of you will join me on this wonderful evening that hopefully you're relaxing in because I am. And I'm relaxing and I'm also in such an incredible space because of the month that we're in. So I'm going to just jump on in. And for those of you who decide to join me on the playback, like, share, comment, all of those good things, because we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to have a conversation. I want to um, share some things with you that are on my mind and to share some things with you that are coming up. So if you don't know who I am, you stumbled your way over to my social media page. I'm Dr. Dion Parker, the Courage Catalyst. And I like to say that I'm that hand on your back that pushes you out of your comfort zone all the way into your courage zone. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be able to still say that. And in this month in particular, welcome to July. It is one of my favorite months, not only because it is my birthday month. Yes, it is my birthday month, but it's also International Girl Get Your Swag Back Month. Yes, it is. And for those of you who've been following me, you know what month it is and you know what we do in this month. But let me enlighten you if you have not been following me, if you've not participated in Swag Month, if you're just hearing about this. So, International Girl Get Your Swag Back Month. It all started with this here little book, Girl, Get Your Swag Back. And I'll tell you about this in just a minute and how it started. But let me break down the acronym SWAG. Again, for those of you who might have forgotten, those of you who just started following, SWAG stands for self-confidence, your walk with God, your attitude of gratitude, and your gifts and talents, your God-given gifts and talents. Yes, yes, yes. So when I say, girl, get your swag back, it means that in some season along life's twisty, turny, just road of life, right? Trials and tribulations happen. Trauma, drama happened. And we lost our swag along the way. Somewhere, one of those letters went dim. You lost it. It kind of just fell off a little bit. Maybe you lost all of those letters. Maybe you need, every single one of those letters back in this season. Honey, trust me. Me too. I have been there a time or two or three or four or five, right? It had to start with me in order for me to tell somebody to get their swag back. And I work on my swag every day. Every day. How do the kids say? Period. Every day. Yes, every day. So I wanted to say this. Y'all, it's been 10 years since I wrote this book. I did not recognize it. I think I recognized it last year when I turned 50. But I recognized it again this year. And it just hit me that 10 years, 2013, I published this book. And there's been a lot that has happened in between that time. And so I had to sit back in that and look at the goodness of God. First of all, to allow me to publish this book, to give me the courage muscles to publish this book. 10 years. 10 years, y'all. So I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating hard because this represents freedom for me. I was released. I was delivered from some things when I wrote and released this book. So I hope it blesses you still. If you've read it a long time ago, pick it back up, read it again. If you haven't read this book that started it all, go get it. Girl, get your swag back. You can get it on my website, dionparker.com, or you can go over to Amazon and get it. Girl, get your swag back. I'm just telling you. So I wanted to come out here and just tell you, I'm kicking off this year, right? I'm kicking off this incredible celebration of this month because, ladies, it's really about us taking our power back. It's really about getting in the space with God and really allowing Him to use us in a way that we've not been available for because of one of those letters that has gone dim. Self-confidence has been, right? Non-existent. Your walk with God, your spiritual walk has been dry. Your attitude looks like, oh, honey, the Tasmanian, a whirlwind. Other people on the other side of you have just been like, ooh, she needs some time to herself. And your gifts and talents, again, may not be where they're at. You might not be operating in your gifts. You might have just walked away, honey. Your purpose has been calling you. Maybe you tried some things and you failed at it, or life was life, and you just literally need to catch your breath and remind yourself of who you are again and what God called you to do. So I wanted to come out and tell my truth. Once again, to those of you who don't know it, but again, to those of you who do know my story and why I wrote Girl, Get Your Swag Back. When I was 18 years old, I was stabbed with a 6-inch butcher knife by my sister's abuser. And my God, it was not just me in that room when that happened. That happened to me, one of my really good friends, and my beautiful sister. And from that moment, I thought that I could barrel through my life thinking that I was okay. No, I was just there. Yeah, that happened, but it really, it was just something that happened. That was my story. That was how I tried to brush over something so traumatic at 18 years old. I was literally coming home from a summer filled, well, I thought was going to be filled with excitement, coming home from college, with my good friends, all the plans and all of that. I had not anticipated that my life would have taken that huge of a turn. But it did. It did. And in that moment, I lost a lot of things that I wasn't quite aware of. Because again, I went barreling through my life saying, I'm okay, I'm fine. I put on a happy smile. I went about my way. I thought I could just continue to be who I was prior to that incident. Many of you in your life have experienced maybe something similar or something that just punched you in the gut like that and put you on the sideline of life, and you've been desperately trying to figure out how to get back up. I tell you what, it took me many years to say that out loud, that something happened to me when I was 18. Something traumatic happened to me. And I needed to say those words out loud. I needed to heal properly. But it would take me years to understand that. And trauma has tentacles. But God called me to tell that story, to tell the truth of that story. What happened in those moments? What happened that night? What I lost in my life and what He reminded me of and who He called me to be. But I had to sit in that moment with Him. And He had me write about it. So I tell my entire truth. I lost my self-confidence. I lost myself in that. I had no idea what I looked like, what I thought like what prior to that, I just faked it all the way till I thought I was making it. And honey, listen, I put on a mask and everyone around me either could tell or couldn't tell what was going on. Just depended on the day. But when that mask got too heavy and it started to shift and I could no longer pretend, I had to come out from behind that mask and take it off and tell the truth. I lost my self-confidence. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know whose I was anymore. I lost all that sparkly stuff that made me who I was. And like my mother would say, my wings were caged and I couldn't fly free in my purpose and the things that literally were me. I lost my self-confidence. I lost my walk with God. My walk with God, my goodness, my spiritual life looked like a maze. I couldn't tell where I was at. I was spiritually dry in some seasons. I just walked away from God and I just didn't want to face all the things that were going on in my life because, again, trauma has tentacles. It allows you to show up as someone that you're not. It has you take on things that you wouldn't normally take on and put up with things that you wouldn't normally put up with. Trauma has tentacles. So my walk with God, wow. I shudder to think of that little girl that was still living in this grown woman's body, trying to desperately do life without him. I lost my walk with God. My attitude, ooh, child. My family would say I would spin off. I didn't know what to do with all these feelings and all the things that were going on in my life. And so I would just spin off like a top, like the Tasmanian devil. If anything would touch that pain, that piece of me that was broken that I didn't know how to fix. I lost my attitude of gratitude. My gifts and talents. Man, I packed those babies up. I didn't think that I was worth doing the things that I wanted to do in my life. I didn't think that God called me to do anything in my life worth talking about. I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know that I was created to be creative. I didn't know that I could do all these amazing things that God had for me. I lost my gifts and talents. I walked away. But God, He called me into a season to tell that story, to write that truth of what happened to me, and to really embrace it, to heal from it fully so that I could tell you, and you all about it. Because on the other side of me, some of you share the same story. And if you're in an abusive relationship, if you are currently in one, please seek help. You don't have to do this by yourself. You don't have to walk that journey by yourself. You don't. Those of you who are survivors and thrivers, God bless you. God bless you. I see you thriving and surviving in your life. You are a blessing. And on the other side of you is somebody that needs to hear your story too. So I encourage you to do so. So that's how all of this started. I had to tell my truth. I had to pour it out into these pages. And so there's a lot that went on in between these pages of me sharing my story, my truth, what happened to me, what went on from there. But 10 years has gone by. 10 years, y'all, since I wrote that book. 10 years. God turned that into not only a book, but He turned it into the Swag University, where I take women through 6 weeks of getting their swag back. We go through each and every one of those letters and we do some pretty intimate work. He's turned it into speaking engagements. I've had an opportunity to do last year the swag bash, which was amazing. I can't wait to do another one. And he turned it into an entire month where I get a chance to empower and encourage you to get your swag back. So I hope that you follow me. I hope you stay connected to me, because I am going to challenge myself, because the first week of the month is all around self-confidence. I'm going to challenge myself to come out here and do some lives, as uncomfortable as it is. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try my best to do it as many times as I can, because I am pushing past inconsistency. That's my truth. So I want you all to understand that you can rebuild all of those things: the S, the W, the A, and the G. And we can do it together. Let's get our swag back together, honey. Let's listen. I every year I say this. Listen, I'm having a party, and y'all are all invited to it. That means we all getting our swag back. And it's going to be a party on social. It's going to be me going live. It's going to be me writing some things and posting some things and just encouraging you. I might be challenging. You never know what this month is going to bring. So I challenge you to stay connected. Now, I do want to say this. In between me writing this amazing book that God had me to write, those 10 years, like I said, a lot has happened. A lot. My life, my dynamics of my family changed. I went through a pretty tough season in my life. But I'm back. And I don't look like what I've been through. I'm just saying. But God also birthed If Her Purse Could Talk with some amazing women. And the latest, From Comfort to Courage. So I hope this is an encouragement to you, because I just want you to know that even though life threw me some sucker punches in between the 10 years that I wrote that book, there were some amazing things that happened in my life and that are still happening. I want to encourage you that if you're in a position right now of feeling like, I really just need a fresh wind, I need to be released from some things, I need to stop carrying some people, I need to get up again, I need to really dust myself off, I need to look at my gifts and talents and chase after my dreams and purpose, I need to get clear on my vision, I need all of those things. My spiritual walk needs to be renewed. Listen, the time is now. Yep. No more waiting. It's now. It's time. Let's do this together. Let's do it. Okay? Okay? All right. I just want y'all to, yeah, you can type okay in the comments too. Don't y'all leave me out here by myself now. Listen, I'll have my swag party by myself, but I really would like for y'all to come on along the journey this month. All right? Well, again, my name is Dr. Dion Parker. I'm the Courage Catalyst. I'm the author of Girl, Get Your Swag Back. And it is July, honey. Yes, it is. It is July. Happy International Girl, Get Your Swag Back month. Come on along for the ride. I'm super excited. All right. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.